nagapangalagad na ang programa nga Iloilo Night Watch sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo. Gimaras Antique Aklan kapis syudad sang Bacolod kag Negros Occidental ilabi na sa sagwa sang pungsod. Ang ini nga programa magadala sa mga balita, impormasyon kag magasipad-sipad sa mga issues nga mangin patas ang presentasyon sa tanan kag mabatian sa Facebook page kag YouTube channel sang Iloilonewsline. Ang Iloilo Night Watch mangin mata kag dulunggan sa mga listeners kag mga viewers kag ini mabatian halin las 8:30 sang gabi tugtog las 10 sang gabi.
May gabi ba? Sa liwat, mayong gabi banwa, mayong gabi sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers. Kumusta na kamo tanan? Nagapamati na kamo sa atong pagwaragwag diri sa Iloilo Newsline kag sa Gimarasa Newsline. Gabay pa nga naka-ready na kamo sa pagpamati ni sa atong nga mga impormasyon nga atong nga pagadalon subong nga gabi. Saturday night, no, kabay pa nga okay lang ang tanan, kabay pa nga nakapanyapon na ang tanan, samtang nga nagahilay-hilay, nagatanaw kamo sa atong nga live para mabalaan man ninyo kung ano ang mga balita, ano ang mga nagakalinhabo sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo kag sa iban nga lugar. Sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo, Antique, Aklan, Capiz, Negros Occidental, Bacolod kag Guimaras, mayad nga gabi sa inyo. Diraman sa iban nga pungsod, mayong aga, mayong udto, mayong hapon, mayong gabi sa inyo nga tanan. Standby kay may mga balita kita lokal, national, international. So i-check naton dugay-dugay ang mga impormasyon. Pero unahon nato na na-check ang atong lokal pag-asa. Ibaloon naton ang sitwasyon sa panahon. Yara na sa atong linya si Engineer Farbs Rubin.
Iloilo Newsline Weather Update.
Engineer Robin, sir, mayong gabi. Hello, sir.
Sa subong gabi sang Saturday, September 10, 2022. Sa karon ang sentro sang mata sang ginamonitor naton nga bagyo nga may ara sang local name nga si bagyong Inday kag international name Muifa, nabulabanta naton basis sa available data yara sa kalion nga 395 kilometers silangan sang Itbayat, Batanes. Ang ini nga bagyo may dala ni hangin na maximum sa sa 130 kilometers per hour malapit sentro kag pagmadlo sa Gostenes nga magalabot sa 160 kilometers per hour. Sa karon magahulag ni siya pa northwest nga direksyon sa Agasigon nga 10 kilometers per hour. Ang ini nga bagyo manabuang sa nga maglandfall sa anuman nga bahin sang aton nga pungsod kag ginalauman naton nga posible ni siya magwa sa aton nga Philippine Area of Responsibility by Tuesday sang gabi or Wednesday sang kaagahon. Kita naman dali sa Western Visayas, so at night, generally, maglugal-uman tubtob sa magal-umon ang mga kalangitan, may posibilidad ng mga lapta-lapta ng mga pag-ulan-ulan, pangilating panaguon, sabi naging sa mga kagabihon nga dala sa southwest monsoon. Yung natugtog kasarangan na hangin, halin sa nabagat na nakatundan, ang mga ibabaw sa Western Visayas, sa diyan Makanay, tugtog kasarangan, at ang mga pagbalog sa kalagatan. Forecast range of temperatures naton, yan sa 25 to 31 degrees centigrado. Aton nga adlaw nagtunog kayo ng alas 5:54 sang hapon, mabutlak buhat alas 5:40 sang kaagahon. Sa gamoni aton latest weather update, halin diri sa Iloilo Doppler Radar Station pag-ato sa SQFT. Ako si Farbs Rubin, madamong salamat.
Engineer Farbs Rubin, sir, madamo nga salamat kag mayong gabi.
Iloilo Newsline Weather Update.
Madamo nga salamat sa atong lokal pag-asa upod sa ka-Engineer Farbs Rubin. Ang ini Kini nga impormasyon ginadulong sa inyo sang pinang sa flower shop na hamtang ini sa Isnat City proper. Ginapanagihan ni Mr. Anisi Cyril Taco Salmi. Kung mag-order ka mo sa mga bulak para sa inyong mga okasyon, birthday, na pwede ka mo da maka-order sa kay Mr. and Mrs. Cyril Taco Salmi. Yarang ilang pwesto sa kilid lang sang Los Filipinos Bakery sa tabok lang sang Iloilo Central Market. Dira lapit sa Maria Clara. No, ara dirang ilang pwesto ang pinang sa flower shop. Pwede ka mo maka-order sa ilang mga bulak, no? Dira sa pinang sa flower shop. Pagi diri sa pagdial nyo, aring ilang mobile number 0920-825-6483. 0920-825-6483 kag 0916-786-8896 Pinang's Flower Shop. Sa aton nga mga kauturan, no, sa aton nga mga ka-newsline, i-plaster ta sa inyo ang aton sining nga mga headline. Sa balita international, si King Charles III, no, ginapasumpa na sa mga leaders, no, dito sa Great Britain, no, sa London. Kay siya ini ang magabulos sa iyang iloy kay Queen Elizabeth II, no, sa pagdumala amo ining panawag nga mga royal blood. Before nga mapatay si Queen Elizabeth II, ginakuno-kuno ng adaan nga magabulos nga king amo ini si Prince Charles, no? So ginpasumpa siya nga bilang king sa kag ginbaton niya man ang responsibilidad nga magadumala sa ila sining nga pungsod. Welcome si King Charles III sa iban man nga mga nasyon kag nag-congratulate nga sa iya sa sumpa, no, kapag dumala naman sang ila sining nga rinda. Sa dugang pagid nga balita, National Commission on Higher Education nagpabutyag nga wala na sila sang pundo para sa mga aplikante nga magasulod sa kolehiyo kon university nga makakuha man tani sang scholarship. Scholarship makakuha man tani. Di wala nakuha kuno pundo suno sa chairman sang Commission on Higher Education. Iyambal pa sang iban nga mga congressmen hindi maubos ang pundo kay ang iyan na sang CHED nga scholarship study now pay later, no? Eskwela ka na subong sa sunod pagka-graduate mo bayaran mo, no, ang imo sining nangkon nga scholarship nga ginhatag sang Commission on Higher Education. Napaintindi ayan ni sa mga kabataan, napaintindi ayan ni sa mga estudyante, sang ara pa sila nag-eskwela, nagabutho sa mga kolehiyo o universidad sa bilog nga Pinas. Di laban-laban na iban way ni mapaintindi kay nga ang iban nga mga local chief executive nagakuha man sang slot sa Commission on Higher Education kag ginahimuan nila nga ila kuno scholar. Di kung paintindihon nila nga iya naka-CHED nga scholarship nga ginkuha namon nga sa nga mga slots, hindi mabuking sila nga instead nga iya naka-CHED na iya instead nga ila na di iya gali naka-CHED mabuking ang ila nga damang-damang. Mabuking ang ila nga binutik. Ang hambal sang una sang kilala ta sa dira sa CHED, linya ang mga local chief executive diri na di nagakuha sang ila nga mga slots kag tapos ginailisan na nila nga maila kuno nga mga scholar. Tilib ka mo? Tinano na paintindi ni nga study now pay later ni gali ang scholarship nga ginhatag sang Commission on Higher Education hindi lang ni sa syudad ka probinsya sang Iloilo, bilog ini nga Pilipinas, no? Yang ginhatag ni nga mga scholarship para ini sa mga pigado, para ini sa hindi makasarang nga magpa-eskwela sang ilang nga kabataan. Karon kay way na pundo 2020 to 2023 posible nga wala sang aplikante sa mga buto o kung sa nga paghatagan sa scholarship para nga maga-eskwela sa kolehiyo. Ngita sa iban nga scholarship no? Ngita sa iban nga scholarship, tanawan nyo kung may ara dira nga mga aplikante ang mga LGUs. Subong nga toy kung may ara dira nga iban. Kung may ara goro, ti posible nga ila na iya scholarship na no personal o kung iya na diya sang local government unit pero kung jutay lang laban-laban no wala gid sila sa may nakuha nga slot nagikan sa CHED. So amo ni gani booking gid na di ang iban nga mga chief executive nga hambal nga ba may mga scholar ta damo-damo, may mga scholars kita sa amo sini, may mga scholars sa amo sini galihalin ina sa Commission on Higher Education. So check naton ini karon ang dugang nga mga impormasyon budlay ning ride on no. Ang ride on why gininyo ginasugira ng mga kabataan sa insakto na tanawan nyo kundi puto ang CHED. Puto sa dugang pagid nga balita mayara nga propose sa hearing sa Commission on Election may kang tanan sini sa ilang budget para sa 2023 kag malakip diri ang barangay kag SK election. May ginahikutar ni subong ang Congress kag ang Senado nga ma-joint sila para desisyonan nga i-postpone gid kuno ang barangay kag SK election tiyang plano nila sa first week sang October masinapol. Hindi ay subol-subol na ini katama, no? Si Chairman Garcia na sang Commission on Election temprano pa yan nagapreparar. Temprano pa siya panghanda na kay budlay ang subol, no? Budlay masala-salagi kamo kag kung ninali ngay postpone so no sa kay Chairman Garcia sang Comelec ti madako-dako ning gastuhon sa next year kung ninali ngay postpone ang election. 2 minutos na nakaligad sa 9:00. Kahapon grabing ulan, no? Nakita nyo gapon nga ginabobo man ulan sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo. Dito sa Cebu ay madamo to yan nagkalaanod nga mga balay, no? Mga payag-payag kalaanod mayara to ya gani nga balay nga ano man sa konkreta anod mo ilabi na to sa Mandawi City. Hilibio na mga tag-iya sang balay. Kay ginab-ab sa nga tubig baha ang kilid sang pangpang tiyang mga balay nga nagay-star ara sa kilid pangpang. Amo ini ang siling naton kag ang nga gindalat ang ining issue o kon ining nga balita bangod madamo ang nagapatindog sang balay sa kilid sang suba. Sang una during sa kay Mayor Jed Patrick Mabilo ginambalan na niya mga barangay officials nga hambalon ang mga pumuluyo nga wala na sa may mag-star sa kilid sang suba. Hindi pagpanugutan sa mga barangay officials karon tanawan nyo bla na madama mo gakipot na yung suba mo. Pabayaan na niya sa mga barangay officials kay nga ayawat pa ng mga butante kundi ka mga tunto nila. Ti kung ninali nga abtan na sila sang tubig baha, kaabtan sila sang kalamidad, ang ngayo naman sang ayuda sa gobyerno. Hindi nyo pag-tolerar, hindi nyo pag-itolerar ina ang mga pumuluyo nga nagapatindog balay sa kilid suba. Base magkapariho kita dito sa Mandawi City, oh. Tanawan nyo bala karon ng video bla kung paano ginanod ng mga balay ni. No, ginab-ab ang kilid sang suba kag ginanod ang mga payag kag subong man ang balay nga konkreta. 4 minutos na nakaligad sa 9:00. Dayon kamo nga nagapamati diri sa aton nga pagawaragwag. Kagining informasyon ginadulong man sa inyo sang Eager Farm sa Barangay Balibagan, Este, Santa Barbara, Iloilo. Ang itlog sa Eager Farm, barato kag preska. Wala duda, no? Wala sang siling nila daw hairlines lang o kung may itom na nga makitan ka. Why? Diri sa Eager Farm sa Barangay Balibagan, Este. Kung may nagagamit man nga siling ina itlog sang Eager Farm nga may pwesto, wala sila ga pwesto kay nga ginakulang ni itlog nila sila yang gapang deliver kundi indira nga mga malls. Pwede ka mo kakontak dito, patigana ka mo kung may ara pang itlog 523-0039 523-0039 o kung 0947-856-4729. Pangitaan nyo lang si William o kung Juicy Lagman. Kaginadolo man sa inyo magapangita kamo sa mga isda nga preska. Kadtuin nyo lang Cruising Patio, Dueñas, Iloilo. Dira sa pwesto ni Nijima. Kaya tagan kamo, baligyaan kamo na. Kaya ang iyang mga isda halin ina sa istansya. Kag may mga seafoods pa halin sa Rojas City. Pwede man kamo magpaluto kung mayara kamo nga okasyon. Dira sa kay Nijima Topas. Graphics Innovative Mind na hamtang man sa Barangay Katilingban Molo, siyudad sang Iloilo. Ginapanagyan ni Sir Manny John Sanoy. May magubra sa mga tarpaulin, sa mga souvenirs, sa pag-imprinta electronics, sa mga t-shirts, madamo pa mga lamination. Wala lagi problema sa Graphics Innovative Mind. 6 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9 sa mga nagahiwat sang kadlawan. Happy birthday kay nang Jocelyn o nang Jo Fonteveros. Happy birthday ba? Dual citizen ka na nang Jo.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Sa tanan-tanan nga nagahiwat sang kadlawan, happy birthday. Kay nang Jo Fonteveros sa iyang imata mayong gabi sa Andrade's Boarding House. Sa mga border sa unada sa Riles, home along the Riles sa San Nicolas, La Paz. Ano Real Martes, ano birthday mo man? Mayong gabi lang da. Sa tanan-tanan ng mga barangay officials, mayong gabi. Sa tanan-tanan ng mga drivers, labi na kay Pare Raul Gordobe. Mayong gabi kay Jerry Di Quilyabaw, Matima. Si Romel Pakliba. Ay Iban Padira nga naga-monitor diri. Sa tanan-tanan nga mga ka-newsline, happy birthday kita.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday sa inyong nga tanan.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
complex. A health complex will rise complete with hospital, quarantine, isolation and dormitory facilities, and molecular laboratory, all in one location at Barangay San Pedro Molo. The 104-bed Level 2 hospital will have an intensive care unit and specialist doctors per DOH standards. Molecular laboratory. There's an urgent need for faster releasing of RT-PCR results to effectively and efficiently manage confirmed cases. With that, we converted the ALS building into a temporary COVID-19 molecular laboratory, hiring 34 medical technologists. Later on, the machines can be calibrated to test dengue and HIV. Contact tracing. We already trained 120 persons as contact tracers. The City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit of the City Health Office is conducting aggressive contact tracing to locate all close contacts and manage confirmed cases efficiently and effectively. Patient transport. 6 ambulance units and 1 minibus are being used by the Iloilo City Emergency Response of the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office in transporting positive patients to healthcare or quarantine facilities. Modular Hospital. Iloilo City government and partners have started preparing additional beds for COVID-19 patients. This temporary hospital seeks to address the high health care utilization rate, considering the city-based facilities also catered to patients from 5 neighboring provinces in Panay Island. A 66-bed modular hospital, which is a 3-unit 22-bed per unit, will be built nearby Suok quarantine facility. An additional 32 isolation beds will also be built in front of the existing one, also in Suok. The isolation and quarantine facilities shall form part of the proposed hospital in collaboration with the Department of Health. Quarantine facilities. St. Therese Hospital, which has been non-operational for quite some time, has been lent for free and has been serving as a quarantine facility. This move is in preparation for possible increase in infections, which may be caused by the more contagious Delta variant. Iloilo City has put in place a total of 1,500 isolation beds, including close to 1,000 in government-run facilities and at least 500 private beds in various partner hotels in case of COVID-19 surge. These will cater to mild and moderate cases to give the already overwhelmed hospitals a breathing room. City-run facilities have provided lunch and dinner meals, medicines, vitamins, hygiene kits, and medical checkups. City Vax Teams. The city's vaccination teams include City Health Office doctors, nurses, vaccinators, health workers, site managers, Liga ng mga barangay, IT, PSTMO and PNP personnel, volunteers, and logistics team from the General Services Office. They target at least 10,000 vaccinations a day in the 5 identified mega sites: SM City, Robinson's Haro, Mega World Transport Hub, Central Philippine University, and Ateneo de Iloilo. They also conduct community-based vaccination in barangays identified as having low vaccination turnout. We have 28 medical officers or doctors, vaccinators composed of 51 nurses and 13 midwives, 16 nursing aides, 13 dentists, 303 assistants composed of BSPOs, health workers, health center staffs, and etc. Disinfection. City Health Office Sanitation Division disinfects city government offices that are locked down following confirmed cases, as well as national government agencies and establishments that request assistance. Volunteer fire brigades and Bureau of Fire Protection also help in disinfection. The threat of this pandemic has pushed the Iloilo City government to double its efforts in fighting the unseen enemy, without overlooking the usual health issues, problems, and concerns that need to be addressed. Let us continue to bring Iloilo City to the next level.
Gusto mo bala sa manamit nga donut nga dalon sa imo pamilya? Hindi ka na magbakal sa iban pa. Bungod bukas na para sa tanan ang Mars Pastries nga napahamtang sa sulod sang Ceres Terminal sa Barangay Kamaligaro, syudad sang Iloilo. Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Dali na! Mabakal na kita sa donut sa Mars Pastries. Pasalubong nga may pagpalangga sa imo pamilya. Mars Pastries. Barato na, manamit pa!
6, 7, go!
Hello mga suki! Bukas na ang Sarjan Many Grocery kung sa diin makapamakal kamo kag makapangompra sang kinahanglanon sa sulod sang inyo balay. May baligya man sila para sa mga okasyon. Hindi na kamo kinahanglan magkadto sa banwa kag syudad. Gani ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na! Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Bakal na sa Sarjan Many Grocery.
Upholding the Uswag spirit, we are continuously gearing up our services for the Ilonggos. Wheels for Inclusive Development and Good Governance is our roadmap in bringing our city to the next level. This sixth agenda platform composes welfare, health, education, environment, livelihood, and sustainability. With our ardent desire of attaining inclusive progress and making more promising practices, we continue to address issues through different projects and initiatives that truly make our wheels on the go. Our roadmap, Wheels for Inclusive Development and Good Governance, has been the backbone of our mission in bringing our city to the next level. W, our first agendum among 6, stands for welfare. Efficient traffic management is one of the important aspects of this platform. Iloilo City prides itself being a walkable and bikeable metropolis, hailed as the most bike-friendly in the country. Its wide diversion road, complete with pedestrian alleys and protected bike lanes, attract attention, acclaims, and accolades from all over the place. Ilonggos and visitors can stroll along spacious sidewalks without eyesores and lighter sights of the busy streets because of less traffic, while bikers are safe in sharing the roads. Here are some specific actions made to achieve efficient traffic management. An intelligent transport system is in the works for a centralized coordination of related choke points and gray areas in the field. This is one of the major features of the iCare Command Center at Gaisano Business Hub. Iloilo City is creating its Traffic Academy for knowledge and training of traffic personnel and drivers through annual refresher courses. The initiative will be established at Technical Institute of Iloilo City, Barrio Obrero Campus. We will be the first LGU having this kind of program. City Hall has provided 20 motorcycles for traffic personnel to perform their duties and conduct check of road conditions, especially on areas that experience congestion. 20 bike patrols are doing regular rounds along Esplanade to ensure enforcement of public safety. 2 patrol vehicles are being used to respond to assess and address urgent situations. The Public Safety and Transportation Management Office, Task Force ASIS, and Office of Barangay Affairs implemented the road clearing operations upon the orders of the national government. Iloilo City's efforts got 83% rating from the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG. For the displaced sidewalk vendors, due to the clearing operation, they were provided a new space. Financial assistance was also given to them so they can start anew. As Iloilo City levels up, it also gets to face more concerns, especially with regard to traffic. The city government has sought the help of the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA in crafting a traffic plan in August 2019. City Hall personnel attended a traffic management seminar with the guidance of scientific and engineering experts. Slowly but surely, officials are optimistic this will give resolution to traffic problems. Iloilo City is geared towards developing more open spaces and access for pedestrian as well as alternative thoroughfares for riding public. We ensure that our city is highly livable and has competent value for safety, peace, and order. Level up Iloilo City!
Our planet needs more. More from me, more from you, more from all of us. Since we started, More Power has committed itself to bringing more to life. But what is more? As an electric distribution utility, we light up thousands of homes, businesses, and institutions. So that's where we started. Under our 5-year development plan for Iloilo City, we worked to rehabilitate and modernize the system. We conducted an overhaul of our distribution system by investing in state-of-the-art facilities. This made sure our system was more responsive on several levels. Repair and optimization of facilities to decrease power interruptions. Automated restoration to decrease downtime for 90% of these interruptions. A 24/7 response team present for the rest, and mobile substations to relieve overloading. These state-of-the-art technologies have a focus on sustainable practices, such as net metering services allowing consumers to export excess energy, cutting down their cost, and increasing the use of renewable energy. All of this while having 100% renewable sourcing from geothermal power plants and cutting electricity rates in half. This made sure that the energy we supplied was more reliable, more accessible, more sustainable, and more affordable. And we will continue to endeavor in incorporating renewable energy into our portfolio for the long term. Our services are only limited by our technology, and when we upgrade, we can bring more to your life. we partnered with LGUs to streamline the application process to make electricity more accessible to all of our consumers. We are not afraid to take on pilferage syndicates. We collaborated with the LGUs to convert these illegal connections to legal connections. Justice and fairness must be the standard. Through the streamlined process, paired with our efforts to apprehend pilferers and crack down on illegal connections, we have reformed the energy sector. Now those who were forced to live on illegal connections can now take pride in being legitimate consumers.
We are also not ignorant of the crisis our city and consumers have been facing. We feel your struggle, and we are here with you as partners. And that's what gave birth to the Partners in Power Foundation.
Through our foundation, we donated millions to help the city and its institutions fight against COVID with dedicated response teams assigned to major hospitals for rapid response to save lives. Beyond all this, we wanted to do more for our environment. In our first 2 years, we planted trees, mangroves, and released fingerlings. We have even adopted an entire mangrove park and supported a citywide endeavor for urban gardening. We also worked on what we could do more within our system. Our entire distribution system was made more sustainable by replacing every wooden pole and transformer with stronger and eco-friendly materials. And for every wooden pole we replaced, we committed to plant trees for each one of them. And you are a part of this too. 1,400 of us worked together to donate flower pots for bike lanes throughout Iloilo City, along with encouraging our workforce to bike to work. But still, there's so much more to be done. Our mission stays the same, to bring more to life. As long as we work together, we can do more, we can be more.
Bintisiete minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Padayon ka mo nga nagapamati diri sa atong nga pagawaragwa. Sa mga nagapangita sa mga barbero kung laban na buhok nyo ara sa Panoy Barbershop. Ang Panoy Barbershop na hamtang sa Poblacion Mall, syudad sang Iloilo, sa sagwa lang sang GT Mall, pangitan nyo da si Panoy Maloto. Subong man sa mga nagapamalaklom la, wholesale ka mo o kung retail ka mo, no, kadtuin nyo na da Cindy Sandy Store. Sa Rizal Palapala 1 City Proper. Pakitaan nyo si Mama Ida Joy o kung Sir Brian Nabuno. Sa aton nga mga listeners, diraman sa Quinto Distrito, aradan si Diaz Poultry Supply na hamtang sa Barangay Baga kay San Dionisio, Iloilo. Basi nga magbakal ka mo sa mga feeds, mga bulong para sa inyo kasapatan, kadtuin yung si Diaz Poultry Supply nga ginapanagyan ni Cheryl Lucindo Diaz kag Totong Lerek Diaz. Si Diaz Poultry Supply. 28 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Ipabati ta sa inyo ang ginhiwat nga budget hearing sa Commission on Election. May kang tanan sini sa Preparasyon Manila sa palabuton nga barangay kag SK election. Kagdala na di ang ila sini nga mga kinanglanon para sa 2023 nga hindi sila mawad-an sang budget. Yari si ang House of Representatives nga nagahiwat sang budget hearing. I-check naton ang ila sining budget hearing.
As compared to the fully computerized election. Siyempre po magkakaroon po tayo, Your Honor, ng mas mahabang period ng mga guro, and therefore katulad po na nangyari sa amin, nagdagdag po kami ng kanilang honoraria. Noong nakarang eleksyon, yung mga nasirang makina, nagdagdag po tayo sa mga mahigit 2,000 guro po natin. Kapag po tayo ay hybrid, Your Honor, tayo po ay gagastos ng
Nagapamati ka mo sa kay Comelec
42.3 billion pesos.
Chairman
Kapag
Erwin
po fully
Garcia.
computerized only, Your Honor, tayo po ay gagastos ng 32 billion pesos.
But sir, no matter what the cost, for as long as there would be trust and acceptability on the Filipino people as to the result, I think the question of cost is immaterial. Anyway, do you recommend? I still have 56 seconds. Do you recommend for a hybrid so that we can do the necessary preparation for the bill, so that when we are going to file it, there will be 2.5 years more to go? We don't want to file the bill wherein the span of time is so short.
Yes, Your Honor. So long as we are to increase the honoraria of teachers and electoral board members and other poll workers. That's very, very important because sobra pong tiring yung magiging trabaho po nila at medyo mas hahaba po yung pagboto po nila.
Siguro, my colleagues will agree also that no matter what the cost is, for as long as it would be a true, honest, and reflect the sentiments of our electorate, I think that would be okay with the House or with Congress. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman of the Commission on Election. Mr. Chair, thank you
very much
for the opportunity.
Maraming salamat, Deputy Majority Leader Walter Palma. To proceed, we call on Deputy Minority Leader Franz Castro for her interpolation. Please proceed, Kong Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kanina pa po ako natutuwa sa binabanggit ng ating chairman ng Commission on Election kaugnay ng pagpapahalaga nila doon sa ating mga electoral board which are composed of mostly teachers, mula sa chairman ay mula dun sa chairperson ng electoral board hanggang sa third member. Ang tanong ko lang po kaugnay dito sa mapopospone na barangay SK election. So ano po yung plano ng COMELEC, Mr. Chair, kaugnay ng honorarium? So kasi masyadong na-dismaya yung mga teachers doon sa nabawasan sila. So ang ibibigay niyo, nabawasan sila ng ng tax. So ang ibibigay niyo po ba sa election sa mga teachers natin ay yung neto? Neto na po o kakaltasan pa ninyo ng tax? Ano po ang plano, Mr. Chair?
Kung sakasakali po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, matutuloy tayo ngayong December 2022, kakaltasan po sila ng 20%. So yung 10,000 magiging 8,000 na lamang po. Yung 6,000 babawasan pa rin po ng 20%. Subalit, kung mapopospone po ang eleksyon sa December of 2023 at pagbibigyan po yung ating computation, yung nasubmit po namin sa Kongreso, dahil ang COMELEC na po ang magso-shoulder ng 20%. So yung pong 10,000, 9,000 sa second member, 10,000 sa third member, at 6,000 sa ibang poll workers, ay yun po ang eksaktong mabibigay na po sa kanila. Wala na pong bawas.
Positive po sa bahagi ng mga kaguruan yung ganung maibibigay na honorarium sa ating mga teachers. Thank you po, Mr. Chair. Now, yung second topic ko po, Mr. Chair, ay yung tungkol doon sa, anyway, karaniwan naman itong nangyayari, yung nagkakaroon ng mga black props tungkol doon sa opposition o yung naglalaban ng mga kandidato. Pero ito po, Mr. Chair, may binanggit ang chairman natin ng COMELEC, lalong-lalo na po si Attorney John Rex Laudianco, kaugnay noong, yung peke na resolution daw ng COMELEC kaugnay sa disqualification ng Makabayan Black. So, ano po ba yung mga pwede nating gawin sa mga ganitong mga pinalalabas na mga resolution na naka-identify po yung mga pangalan ng mga COMELEC officials? Kasi hindi lang po yun sa Makabayan sa mga local election din, nangyayari din po yun.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. Actually po, nire-refer po namin lahat yan sa National Bureau of Investigation. Lahat po ng mga matataas na opisyal ng COMELEC, palagay ko po kahit ako ngayon, ay sinisimula na pong magkaroon na rin ng fake na signature. Nung nakaraang linggo lang po, may isang lumabas na isang memorandum daw mula sa aming law department upon verification, even from the heading and the signatures and the designation, definitely not coming from COMELEC. Lagi po kaming nabibiktima sa ganyan. And that's why we are really asking our law enforcement authorities, most especially po the NBI, na matulungan kami upang mahanap yung mga taong involved. Kalimitan po, Your Honor, Your Honors, lalabas po kalimitan yung mga ganyan, yung malapit na eleksyon, lalo na sa may mga kaso na pending, na nakapending sa amin sa COMELEC para palabasin na kunwari yung mismong yung isang tao, isang kandidato ay disqualified. So it will take time before they can verify before the Commission on Election whether indeed such a resolution exists or such a resolution was really promulgated by the COMELEC. Ang ginagawa po kaagad namin Your Honors na lang ay pag may nagtanong sa amin, immediately we will issue clarification at the same time to the person involved and to the local COMELEC involved. We will issue the necessary notice that there was no such a resolution.
So ito po particular sa Makabayan mga party list, ano na po ang development dito?
Yes po, ni-refer po namin yan for investigation and again, medyo naging maagap naman po kung napansin niyo po Your Honors, ang Commission Election, we immediately, not only our spokesperson but this representation, when he was still a commissioner, we immediately made a statement and denounced the existence of such a fake resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sana meron pa rin gawin na mas iba pang mga dapat na gawin kaugnay dito kasi hindi lang po Makabayan yung affected. Next question po, Mr. Chair, yung tungkol sa disenfranchisement nung mga voters, particular po sa mga teachers, lalong-lalo na yung mga nagbabantay sa election, electoral board, parang very short. Too short po yung binibigay ninyong yung binibigay natin na absentee local absentee voting. Minsan magkakaiba yung instructions ng mga COMELEC during the briefing at saka doon sa instructions po ninyo. So marami pong teachers na gustong bumoto noon na member ng electoral board na hindi po nakaboto. So, pwede po bang gawin natin yung katulad noon na kung saan assigned si teacher ay doon na rin siya pwedeng bumoto at national level ang binoboto po yata ng mga teachers. So, hindi po sila pinayagan noong nakaraang election. Ano po yung pwede natin gawin doon, Mr. Chair?
Number one, Your Honors, we will commit that we will make it longer for the electoral board members to vote. Malas lalawakan po natin yung ating period sa local absentee voting. Number two po, Your Honor, so long, pwede po yung binabanggit po ninyo, basta po registered sila doon sa mismong municipality or district where they are registered.
Sa district, halimbawa sa Quezon City, voter ang teacher sa District 2, pero nagbabantay siya ng election sa District 1. So yung 30 minutes na travel time going to District 2 ay hindi na pwede yun, Mr. Chair. Paano yun?
We will allow that, Your Honor. Within the same district, Your Honor.
No, within
outside of the district.
Oo, ibang district po yun kasi si teacher sa District 1, boboto siya sa District 2. Kulang naman yung 30 minutes para mag-travel to and fro siya doon sa kanyang precinct.
In the next drafting of our guidance, we will allow if so long as it is within the same city, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Chair. Yung next po natin ay yung tungkol doon sa AES. Alam natin na maraming palpak sa Smartmatic. May plano na po ba doon ang COMELEC kaugnay nung automated pa rin pero hindi na dapat na Smartmatic? Meron bang ganung mga pag-aaral na ginagawa ang COMELEC? Sir
We-
Chair.
Your Honors, we are fully aware of these issues being thrown and raised against our service provider. And definitely all of these issues and concerns raised by stakeholders and individuals will be seriously considered by COMELEC when COMELEC will proceed with the computerization of election in 2025. But we are going to hold, of course, an open and free bidding, and everybody will be entitled to participate. For the information of this body, one of the reform agenda of the chair is by January, we intend to conduct an election summit in which all participants, all stakeholders will be there. We would like to have a roadmap so that we can plan of what to use in the 2025 election. Of course, subject to the legislation that Congress will be passing, and at the same time, on the specifications and such other matters in relation to the automated election system.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Gusto ko lang i-raise dito no, yung pinaplano natin o yung mga proposal natin like hybrid na election wherein sa precinct level, manual yung counting. Pero doon sa pagka-transmit ay automated. Dahil Mr. Chair, matagal na pong tinakwil ng iba't ibang mga bansa, yung fully automated dahil nawawala doon yung sovereign will ng mga electoral at mga electoral. Kaya baka pwede rin natin pag-aralan yung ganong pamamaraan. Ano po masasabi natin doon, Mr. Chair?
Thank you very much, Your Honors. In one case, the case of Harry Roque versus the Commission on Election, na-sustain po kasi yung automation of election. However, Your Honor, that's the reason why the COMELEC was in full support of the proposal before. When this representation was not yet a member of the commission, the COMELEC was in full support of for the conduct of the hybrid election in the Senate. We do not know if there is a pending bill right now in Congress to conduct a hybrid election likewise in 2025 or in the next succeeding election. Indeed, so long as we are able to keep secret the ballots but making the process public and open, then that we will definitely support.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the Makabayan Black has a bill to that effect. Tinawag nga namin siyang tama bill. So that yung mga botante po, makikita nila talaga na talagang nabibilang or nakakount yung kanilang boto. Kasi dun sa present automated system natin, yung AES, wala na eh. Pag ginanon sa machine, di na mo na alam kung na-count na siya doon sa canvassing. Tapos, syempre, may mga problema rin tayo kapag nasira yung mga machine, Mr. Chair. So, si teacher na lang o yung teacher na lang yung nagpapasok. So, hindi natin nakikita yun. So, para maiwasan. So, yun sana yung pinopropose namin, yung tama bill. So, yun lang po, Mr. Chair, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat, Deputy Majority Leader Franz Castro, for your interpolation. We'll now proceed to the next interpolator. May we call on Deputy Majority Leader Tony Pet Albano for his interpolation. Please
Thank you,
proceed.
Mr. Chair, and thank you, Congressman Mendoza, for yielding. I just have a few queries. It's actually parochial in nature, but this has been a sorting for this representation. In the first district of Isabela, and I'm sure it happens all over the Philippines, I have a perennial nuisance candidate named Mr. Sullivan, whom I've never seen. And not one single poster has been put there. And he was fined several times for not even fulfilling his responsibility to give the election expense after the campaign. And yet, every year, his name is in the ballot, even if you've already declared him as a nuisance candidate. This is a big problem because, for one, your list is already too long. And it seems that the COMELEC is dragging itself when it comes to declaring this particular person or particular persons in the whole Philippines as nuisance candidates already. It should be stricken out of the ballot so that it does not confuse the voters. May I ask, Mr. Chair, the whole COMELEC and BALC, what they intend to do about this?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Well, in the first place, Section 69 of the Omnibus Election Code was already declared constitutional by the Supreme Court in the case of Pamatong versus Comelec, and likewise reiterated in the case of Martinez versus the Commission election. But unfortunately, of course, despite the presence of Section 69, which is nuisance candidacies, there are still many nuisance candidates that have been filing their candidacies. What is our solution? Last week, Your Honors, this representation that your chairman had called for a meeting of all bodies within the commission election involved in adjudication. And we said that if the filing of the candidacies will be by October, for example, of 2024, then we will have to resolve all nuisance cases, not only in the division level, but up to the end bank level up to December of the same year. Ang problema po, ang dahilan po ay dahil napapansin natin na kami rin naman po ang namumblema kapag kami mga nuisance na nakatakbo. And then after makatakbo ng nuisance, problema po after may proclaim at nagkakaroon ng issue tungkol sa kung kanino mabibigay yung boto po ng nuisance. So we will commit, Your Honor, that we will expedite, we will resolve these cases of nuisance within the same year that the petitions were filed. So at the same time, Your Honors, maybe Congress can now consider, there was a proposed bill before in the Senate to criminalize the filing of nuisance candidacies. So may proposal po dati si Honorable.
The problem is that this was decriminalized, Mr. Chair, before. Especially with expense to the expenditure. Am I correct?
Expenditure, Your Honors.
Before, it was criminal in nature for you not to file your expenses for election returns or for expenses during the elections. This was decriminalized, if I understand by the law as passed. Tama ba po yun?
Non-filing, yes, Your Honor. Non-filing of the SOSE.
Yes, the SOSE.
Non-filing of the SOSE for 2 consecutive elections, you will be perpetually disqualified, Your Honor.
But it seems that this Mr. Soliman has had managed to do it again in my district. And I don't understand that there are a lot of congressmen complaining of the same. So you are right, Mr. Chair, that you need to resolve this as soon as possible so this doesn't become a problem. And Mr. Chair, I am not accusing any Comelec officials here, but despite this, I hear a lot of rumors. I hear a lot of complaints from my fellow congressmen that the delay of such promulgation actually is, kung baka sinasabi natin, a reason for others to ask for dispensation of certain personal, alam mo na, kung ano yung sinasabi. So, I would suggest that you really implement this particular measure to take away once and for all these problems of having the nuisance candidates, especially kung recurring yung tao na katulad dito si Mr. Soliman.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. October, if the filing is October, we will resolve all nuisance petitions for declaration of nuisance before the end of December of the same year when the filing was done.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, but I would like to just manifest that if this happens again in the next election when I run, that Mr. Sullivan's budget name appears there, I will hold your budget for the next coming election. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Majority Leader Tony Pet Albano, for your interpolation. We'll now proceed to the next interpolator from Congressman Edsel Lagman. Please proceed, Congressman Lagman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May we know from the Comelec Chairman Garcia, for the record, whether the Comelec is fully prepared to conduct the December 2022 barangay and SK elections.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Your Honors, for the record, the Comelec is fully prepared to conduct the election on December 5.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, may we also know from the Comelec whether the 8.4 billion appropriation is fully sufficient for the conduct of the barangay and SK elections in December 2022.
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the 8.441 billion pesos is enough to finance the 2022 barangay and SK elections.
However, if we postpone the barangay elections to May 2023, there will be an additional amount of about 9 billion. And if we postpone it to December 2023, there will be an additional amount of more or less 10 billion in addition to the continuing appropriation of 7.4 billion. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, that is correct. But for purposes of clarification, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, it's 17 billion for May, less 7.5 billion. For December, 18 billion less 7.5 billion pesos.
That's correct. Now, Mr. Chairman, may we also know whether the amount already comprehensive released to the COMELEC for the 2022 December elections could still be taken back by the executive in order to support the economic recovery program.
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, with all due respect, they cannot.
They cannot. Because the COMELEC has fiscal autonomy under the Constitution. What is released to you cannot be taken back. It can be part of a continuing appropriation. Is that correct?
That is perfectly correct, Your Honor.
So in other words, the reason that there should be postponement in order that the amount can be used for the recovery program is not correct.
Based on the premises as mentioned, that is correct, Your Honor.
Under the Constitution, I think it's Section 8 of Article 10, the term of office of barangay officials, shall be determined by law. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And this mandate is a one-time mandate. Is that correct?
Your Honor, that may be the subject of a legal interpretation.
It is my position that it's a one-time mandate. Once exercised, it is already exercised by Congress, and there is no provision for a continuing mandate under Section 8 of Article 10. Now, there is no budget for the barangay and SK elections in 2023.
That is right, Your Honor, as proposed and as contained in the President's budget.
And you were present this morning, Mr. Chairman, when the Committee on Appropriation approved the consolidated bill under Section 4 on appropriation, there is no fixed amount appropriated for the barangay and SK election if they are postponed. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, and as correctly pointed out by the Honorable Congressman Lagman.
Now, if there is no appropriation in the 2023 budget of the COMELEC for the conduct of barangay and SK elections, and there is no specific amount appropriated in the postponement of the barangay elections, then the barangay elections could be impaired because of an absence of an appropriate appropriation, because the 7.4 billion continuing appropriation would not be sufficient to conduct the elections.
7.4 billion, the 8.441 billion is only for December of 2022.
Okay. So this barangay elections be postponed to 2023, either in May or December, would be impaired if there is no appropriate or adequate appropriation. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, no budget would mean no budget for the COMELEC to spend for the conduct of that electoral exercise.
Now, let me go to another topic. Since we embark on the automated elections, has there been any electoral protests which has prospered based on fraudulent generation of election results?
Since 2010, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, there was not a single election protest, at least filed before the commissioner election or even filed before other electoral tribunals such as the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal or even the Senate Electoral Tribunal or even in the Presidential Electoral Tribunal that prospered in favor of the protestant, even as far as this representation is concerned as a practitioner before.
What is the import of the absence of such electoral protest prospering?
At this point, Your Honor, it would mean that the machines are really functioning properly, that the machines are really counting properly. All throughout the different elections, Your Honor, the average of accuracy is almost 99.3% average accuracy. In the last election, it's 99.7% accurate, Your Honor. The 0.03% is only because the voter did not shade properly the ballots. Maybe po yung balota tuldok lang, kaya po hindi nabilang ng machine. But then sa naked eye, kitang-kita po yon. So meaning to say, with all due respect to all those who are saying that the machines are not functioning properly, that indeed the machines are accurate.
Thank you for that answer, Mr. Chairman. And last question. I heard that you are in favor of a hybrid election, wherein there would be more dynamic participation of the people, the electorate, in watching the counting of the ballots. So it could be manual counting, but the transmission of the results could be electronic. Is that correct?
Yes, as envisioned by the Senate when it passed the bill for the hybrid system of election.
For the record, Mr. Chairman, I am also in favor of a hybrid election.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kong Edsel, for your interpolation. Let's proceed for the next interpolator. May we call on Congressman Jolo Revilla for his interpolation. Please proceed, Congressman.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, esteemed members of this committee, COMELEC Chairperson George Garcia, and the rest of the COMELEC. My first question is, what is the status of the modernization program of the COMELEC? And not just in terms of our technological upgrades to safeguard data stored by the COMELEC, but also with regards having a new building to house such agency and the data. Ano po yung status po nito? And what is the latest update sa proposed 9-story building within the 2-hectare site in Pasay City?
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, sa napakagandang katanungan. When we initially proposed the budget for the agency, we asked the DBM for 10 billion pesos. However, the DBM reduced the budget as proposed from 10 billion to 4.6 billion. And fortunately for the agency, for the commission, when the new administration came, they added additional 500 million dito po sa aming proposed, sa aming budget. And that's why the President's budget will contain 5.221 billion for the commission. Tama po kayo, Mr. Chair, na binigyan po kami ng 500 million dahil gusto po namin magpatayo ng sarili naming bahay, sarili naming building. For the information of the members, the good members of the body, the Committee on Appropriation, we are actually leasing sa Palacio del Gobernador and such other office spaces around the Palacio del Gobernador. We are spending for 1 year 159 million pesos for lease alone. At pag po may mga special events kami, katulad po ng filing ng candidacy, katulad po ng canvassing sa national, sa senators and party list, kami po ay laging nangungupahan sa PICC at yung mga malalapit na hotels. Kahit po pag yung aming random manual audit, kami po ay nangungupahan din sa mga hotels. Yung mga major activities namin, lagi po kaming nangungupahan. At dahil po dyan, siguro naman po that yung urgent need for us to have a building ay naandun po. Ang Commission on Audit, Mr. Chair, ang Civil Service Commission, ang Office of the Ombudsman, Ang Commission on Human Rights, may sarili-sarili po silang building. Ang Commission on Elections, nabanggit po ni Congressman Edsel Lagman, isang constitutional body. Kami po yung nangungupahan hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Hindi po ba naman siguro marapat lang na magkaroon din kami ng sariling building? It will take po several years. Hindi po naman kami nangihingi ng 1 taon lang. It may be 4 years, 5 years, 8 years, or 10 years. The most important thing is we're able to start. Meron po kaming property, more than 2 hectares, less than 3. Diyan po sa may Makapagal. Amin po yon in our name. So why can't we not construct our own building? In terms of investment, iba po ang mag-invest ka sa sarili mong bahay. And that we are going to do and that we are going to pursue, of course, with the able help of our Congress.
Mr. Chair, we are one with you. At nakikiisa po kami sa inyo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Alam din naman po kasi natin, no? Parang recently, nagkaroon din po ng sunog sa Palasyo del Gobernador. So, naniniwala po kami na talagang kinakailangan ito. And at the same time, my second question is, given the practicality of renting machines during the conduct of elections, how much money will we actually save by doing this instead of buying new machines? Kagaya po ng nasagot ko sa tanong ni Deputy Majority Leader Pat.
Malaki po, Your Honor, in terms of savings simply because pag po tayo ay bumili ng makina, technology po kasi yan, Your Honors, Mr. Chair. At dahil technology, parang cellphone, ilang panahon lang from iPhone 11, nag-12, nag-13, ngayon may 40 na. In 6 months period lang po nagbabago ang technology. Pag bumili po tayo ng makina, we are going to warehouse it. Magbumangungupahan na naman po kami ng warehouse. We are going to maintain it. Magbabayad po tayo sa maintenance. Samantalang kung lease po yan, kung lease without preempting the action of the NBank because that will be discussed po ng Commission NBank. Pag lease po yan, siyempre po siguradong bago ang kanila ipapalis sa amin, hindi naman po kami kapapayag na luma yung paparenta sa atin. Number 2, sila po magbabayad ng warehouse, sila rin po magbabayad ng maintenance and therefore napakalaking katipiran po on the part of the Commission on Election.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The 1st District of Cavite manifests its support to the Commission on Elections led by Chairperson George Erwin Garcia, a seasoned lawyer known for his legal expertise, especially in the field of election law. We hope to work with COMELEC and assist them in their constitutional mandate to enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the conduct of elections, as the right to vote holds an equal responsibility that everyone entitled to vote should exercise such right. For the exercise of the right to vote is truly one of the acts that truly shows the democracy of our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Jolo. We'll proceed, no? We'll proceed now with the next interpolator from the majority again. Representative Jaime Presnedi. Nasa Zoom ba si Congressman Presnedi?
So nabatihan ang budget hearing, no, sa mga congressmen sa Commission on Election. Dito gimplastar sa Mayo gali ni COMELEC Chairman Erwin Garcia kung ano ang mga maayong paghimuon kung padayunon ang eleksyon sa December 5, 2022 o kung i-postpone ang eleksyon. Maathag nga gin-isa-isa ni Congressman Edsel Lagman. No, kung ano ang mga bintaha kag disbintaha. Ha? May ato tayong congressman ang deputy majority floor leader nagpayag nga dapat i-postpone ng eleksyon, na berman kung magasto kita galing ang pamangkot, may kwarta pa kita. Nawagan ni kapanipo, no? Sang pundo, sang presidente. I-postpone mo naman ang eleksyon. So, sunod sa kaya, Congressman Edsel Lagman, kung i-postpone ng eleksyon, mayo lang kung madalay na sa budget sa 2023. What if abi nga wala budget? Para sa barangay kay election sa May 2023. Another postpone naman ng eleksyon? Kabi kung hindi na pagbudgetan ang nga eleksyon, ang barangay kay election sa Mayo 2023. Why lang kita anay naman election? Grabe, no? Nanamian ang mga barangay officials, no? Nanamian sila, pertiklawig ang ilang terms. Nga pagpangalagad, nga warat datsoy man ng iban daw, hindi man pusla ng iban, puwera lang sa iban nga nagatrabaho. Paintsindi ni Community Chairman Erwin George Garcia nga kung subong hiwato ng eleksyon, manubo gamay lang aton gaston. No? Kag makasave pa kita. No? Makasave pa kita, dako ang masave naton. Malabot pa o makadamo pa ang makadtuan niya sina sang kwarta. Pero kung ninali i-postpone ng eleksyon, dako-dako ang budget. Dako-dako ang magastos ang gobyerno. Kagkalipay sa mga politiko nga ara sa gyapons poder ang ilang nga mga bata-bata nga mga kapitanes ka mga barangay kagawad. Amo na dama nami. No? Pero why nila yung ginapanomdom kung ano madangtan sang Pinas? Why sila yung gapanomdom? Kung ano man madangtan, bahala na kamudira. No? Bahala na kamudira kung ano man ang inyong madangtan dira ya. Basta ang importante nga postpone ng yang eleksyon kaya hambal to sa isa congressman. Why problema basta insakto lang paghiwat sang eleksyon, aberman magasto kita dako. Hindi tinuntong obra nga imo na kwarta nga bahala na kung anong ang magkalinabo kag bahala na kung ano kadako ang magasto dira. Dapat matanaw ni sang Mayo sang iban nga mga leaders naton, no? Way ka mong luoy sa presidente, nawa na niya kapanguha to sa mapundo sa Indonesia, sa Singapore, para nga mayara kitang idugang nga pundo para nga bangon ng aton nga economy. Tapusan nga mo yan daw pawala lang. Nami patanihan no sa banyo. Dahil pa, ipakita ta sa inyo na tabubla kapon to sa Mandawi City. Ang ining impormasyon ginadulong man sa inyo sang Ludleaf Trading and Services. Isa dako construction firm nga nahamtang ini sa Metro Manila, nagapangobra sa mga balay, nagapang disenyo man sa mga balay kag mansion o kon supermarkets. Pwede ka mo kaka-contact dira kay Engineer Joey Diaz o kon mag-text ka mo sa 0939-812-6336 0939-812-6336 o kung magkadto ka mo sa ila opisina sa Block 5 Phase San Francisco, Gio, San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan. May pagpamati da kay Aya. Kay Aya da, kay MJ, kay Andre, kay Amre, kay Toto Joy. Ika-40 kadlaw gali kapon ni Ate Mare. No? Sang siya ang napatay. Ay, dahil lang, ipakita ta sa inyo rin na tabotos Mandawi City, grabing ulan, no? Ginabab sang tubig baha tong kilid sang sang suba. Nagkalaanod balay. Amo na yung siling naton sa mga nag-estada sa kilid suba da sa mga barangay officials. Hindi nyo pagpanuguti. Para sa inyong kayuhan o para sa inyong palabuton ng eleksyon, butang nyo sa lang-alang mga pumuluyo, palihog lang, no? Tama na nga panginyawat na. Nanoy? Ariyo? Nakita nyo na, nanod ang balayo. Konkreta na,
Ala, luyo, gidala ma. Full jud sa gidala.
Sinibuano.
Dako na sa nga balay. Puro na simento.
May payag pa na nga na ano. Kapo na. Grabe ulan.
Masangit pag ala. Kaya sa.
May lang kay isang tawo sa sulod, nakagwa lang sila. Una-una may isa na ka balay nga light materials. Iniya konkreta gid dala na. Gusto nyo nga mga mukita sina? Na.
Wala na pa isa ka balay utra. Na gamay.
May paganod. May ara pagid may tapos sa konkreta, may ara pagid sunod. Anod pagid. Ara pagid sunod nan. Kita niya. Na siling tasin nyo, hindi pagpabay sagad pang bugsok das kilid suba. Kamo mga barangay official, sa uli kamo man na konsensyahon. Yan panugutan nyo mo. Pabayaan nyo. Kipot na dudugay suba das aro. Harap pagit. Grabe pag-ababo.
Aluya sa balay
Kapo na. Gabi nga ulan no dito sa Cebu. Di may lang diri sa aton, way tama no. Nan. Di na ayhan isampay, may ato pa sa payaw pagidong. So mo nin tatabo kapon, kabay pa nga may leksyon kita nga matunan diri. Ilabi na sa mga barangay officials nga nagapanugot sa mga pumuluyo nila nga mag-star ang ila pumuluyo sa kilid sang suba kung pangpang sang suba. So, hindi nyo pagpasugte kay sa ulihi, base madalada ang balay kag may tawo pasulod. Kamugid ang basulon, kay giyagin panugutan nyo. Gimpakakas na sa una, may clearing operation na sa una during the time ni Mayor Jed Patrick Mabilo. Dumanta na kay nga isa ako nakapamangkot na ako nanong masarang mahimo sang city government sa kilid sang suba nga may nagailista ra kung ninali may kalamidad, ala kuha naman ayuda sa DSWD daw ginainto talang lawas naton. Tapos maistar naman da sa kilid sang suba para naman makakuha ayuda. Tama na pagpanunto sa gobyerno. Sa kay Bunday, no, sa Vindos, kay Iban Padira, nga nagatanaw kay Nong Jo, kay Nang Rose, naman kay Suli, kay Umpoy, kay Boss. Kay Bongbong, kay Tutong Man, kay Alog, mayang gabi, kay sa Iban Padira, kay Raquel. Kay sa Iban pa nga mga vendors sa mayong gabi. Salamat sa inyong pag-operar, at least limpyo ang terminal. Sa tanan-tanan nga mga vendors, mayong gabi, sa mga empleyado sa Valyaca Transit Incorporated, mayong gabi, kay BM, kay Assistant BM, Sir Joseph Oico, mayong gabi. Kag sa Operation Officer sa Finance, kay Finance na Sir Fred, sa Kagente, Sir Casamayo, mayong gabi. Opo nang kay Toto Boy Chef kay Nono MJ. Ini ang inyo alagad Johnny Yanson Diaz. By the way, buwas may isa. Ano na oras na? Alas 7, no? Alas 7 to alas 8 kabay pang hindi lang mapiktuhan na brownout kita. Mahukap kita sa Haro Metropolitan Cathedral para sa misa, no, para makapamati kita sa pulong sang Ginoo. Ini ang inyo alaga Johnny Yanson Diaz. Madamo nga salamat kag mayong gabi Pilipinas para sa Iloilo Newsline.